Hi, I'm here with LTC today. We're at the Folk Festival, day 3, last day. My first question to you is, what's the ties between Massachusetts and bootmaking?
Well, Massachusetts has this very long, robust history of footwear making, and it started with these small artisans that then grew exponentially into mill-size mass production that was really a global hub of footwear production. So I have this small handcraft business and tradition carrying on in Western boots that really ties to how shoes were made at an artisanal level in Massachusetts in the 1800s.
Where did you start with your apprenticeship, or was it a family tie, or where did you start?
No, it wasn't a family tie, but I went to a shoemaking school in England called Cordwainers College where I learned pattern making and the principles of shoemaking, but not actually how to do it, because that is not taught in schools. So I learned that in order to learn what I needed to apprentice with somebody. And I found a cowboy boot maker here in Massachusetts who was probably the only person making footwear by hand as a business in the early 2000s, who trained me over a few years and taught me everything that I know about making boots by hand and about the rich cowboy culture, cowboy boot culture. This is how our soles are attached. The sole would be glued on and then pegged with wooden pegs, and the heel is not on at this point. And then there's this little strip of leather going around the front called the welt, and we sew the sole to the welt here. So if you wanted to repair and put a totally new sole on, you would stick a knife like between the sole and the welt and just cut this thread, cut these stitches, pull them out, and then you pop the heel off in a block form.
Yep.
And then you're able to just pull that old sole. So if you had a big hole right here, you pull it off, put a new sole on, put your pegs back in, and re-stitch in the same holes. And you can do that over and over and over again and put the heel back on. And then the heel is done in such a way where there's this one rubber layer, so that as you start wearing through that, you can keep replacing this. So you're able to re-heel and re-sole over and over and over again without damaging the integrity of the structure of the boot.
Wow.
And this is a shoe made in the early 19-teens in Lynn, and it is made with the exact same type of construction. So even though it was a mass-produced shoe, it was made with the same intent to repair and re-sole over and over again.
It's amazing. What inspired you to start this journey?
So honestly, I was inspired to start by seeing the process. I was fortunate to see a lecture of a shoemaker and learned and saw all the steps that went into making shoes. And I said, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I want to learn that. And when I met Sarah, we had the opportunity to apply for our funding to work together so that I could learn the process of boot making. And so it was an incredible, one-on-one sort of download of all of Sarah's knowledge and experience that I had the opportunity to take advantage of and really benefit from in terms of learning the craft and understanding the materials and the process, and it's been really fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then what are like some of the skills that you have learned, whether it be specifically for boot or just like life lessons?
Yeah, actually, what specifically got me into the idea of learning bootmaking was learning a welted construction. That was one of the first things that I knew that Sarah did and that I was so curious about, and that's what the welted construction means, that you're seaming the top part of the boot to the sole, and that's what Sarah was mentioning makes it repairable and replaceable. That step and that sewing process of seaming those two components together is what makes boots have a very long lifetime and over and over again repair and replacing. So that skill is one that's been fantastic, and it's hard to do, and it has to be done by hand.
Yeah, so that's kind of just a question based off that. So I was going to ask you, how long does a pair last? But I'm assuming like
longer than a human lifetime.
Wow, that's amazing. What raw materials are used in boot making?
Leather. So boots are made from leather and various types of leather. So a lot of different versions or variations on leather. So vegetable tan leather and mineral tan leather. But what's cool about that is they're all different types, but different thicknesses, different densities for different areas of the boot. So the soles are very hard leather. The linings are very soft, very breathable leather. The uppers, the outside of the boots are very durable with beautiful finishes and things like that. So leather is a really incredible material to work with and really something that attracts, I think, shoe and boot makers to the field.
If you could describe the Lowell Folk Festival in 3 words, what would you say?
Fun, festive, and sadly that there was rain yesterday.
I'd say curious. I'm getting a lot of curiosity and thoughtful conversations and community and kindness. Yeah.
Well,
Well, thank you guys so much. All right, thank you.